Hey everybody, this is Joel. I'm down at Boom Comics in Topeka, Kansas, and this is the introduction to the Dryden Experiment. For those of you who are familiar with the Dryden Experiment, which there are a lot of you, I'm sorry. The sort of original videos that I shot a couple of months ago have gotten sort of badly out of date, and I wanted to reintroduce the Dryden Experiment and, in particular, redo some of the videos for Dryden Sci-Fi. So this is the very beginning introduction for somebody who has never seen the Dryden Experiment before and is going, what in the heck? How did I end up here? Well, welcome. We are a little hard to describe. We're sort of a rebellion against conventional publishing. We're a very novel concept, and we're very, very successful. The concept that drives us is this idea that it's very, very easy in today's environment to get things into market, no matter whether you're an author, which I am, if you're a video game designer, if you're a board game designer, whoever you are, it's very, very easy for you to build what you build and then go out onto a Vanity Press site or go out onto the Android app site and get what you're making into the market. That's a phenomenal thing, and it's something that hasn't existed in the past. This is really the internet revolution has created this incredible access to the market. In fact, it's created a whole lot of markets that never existed before, and that's really awesome. The problem is that once you get into the market, nobody knows that you're there. There are 12 million books on Amazon right now, and if you just drop a book on Amazon and you don't have major support behind you, you'll get sales through your friends and family and as many people as you know on Twitter, but it's very, very hard to build a following. It takes years and years. Um, and instead, what we get is we get a very narrow section of creative material that gets tremendously promoted. Things come out of Disney, things come out of Sony, things come out of the big five publishing houses that just get millions and millions of dollars behind them and become stupidly successful at the cost of literally thousands of other really fabulous ideas, storylines, games that are out there that are just not getting any attention. And it doesn't have to be that way. We can get into the market. It's easy enough, but it's how to get that attention and how to get up to the scale of those big guys without the resources that those guys have got. Well, the idea that I had about 3.5 years ago now was that what we should do is we should start using the Creative Commons BYSA license. And what that license says is that you're free to use my material, someone else's material, anybody who puts their material under the 4.0 BYSA, as long as you'll do two things. As long as you'll recognize where you got the material from, and as long as you'll put whatever you create under that same license, right? So the idea is that if we can sort of work cooperatively, if I can take my little piece that I'm working on and you take your piece that you're working on, and we can put them together and stack them up, we can get really big, fun environments to work and develop in, and then we can cross-promote each other. I've got a Twitter feed, you've got a Twitter feed, she's got a Facebook page, that person runs a blog, and we can, by this shared, this principle of sharing, the Dryden principle, we can build things on a scale of a much larger company, and we can get attention to it on the scale of a much larger company. So what I started with at that time was a science fiction universe, and I just wrote a skeleton. I put out faster than light travel rules and wrote some history for the world, invented some evil corporations for people to be rebelling against, and then I literally just went online to authors that I knew and artists and complete strangers and said, look, I put all of this under Creative Commons, and I'd like for you to come build in it. And it's been enormously successful. We have 10 or 12 authors and artists who are actively working in our universe right now. We brought one entire empire into that science fiction universe already this week, and I'm working on another one. I have a meeting on Friday, going to have a Google Hangout to bring entire empires, thousands of stars into this universe. Right? We are expected to put, I think, 6 books into market this year. It's gotten a little hard for me to keep track of because one of the rules is that you can publish wherever you want. And so there's an author named Daniel Hunt who wrote some fabulous things in our universe, who's publishing independently. Greta Vanderroel is written in the universe and is publishing independently. So I think that by the end of 2015, we will put 6 books in the market, and we've already put 2 books in the market so far in 2015. So we're looking to have 8 books maybe in market by the end of the year. We also teamed up with Nick Mall, who owns Owlman Press out of Australia. He owns a role-playing game called Big Damn Sci-Fi, and he is literally laying the Dryden Experiment universe over that role-playing set, and we're coming out with Big Damn Sci-Fi. That game will play test right here at Boom Comics, I think at all 3 of the Boom Comics locations within about the next 6 weeks. So we're just having this fabulously successful, exciting experience growing the Dryden science fiction universe together. And I really want to encourage you to come on in and take a look and feel your way around. And I'll talk a little bit more about where everything is in a minute. But what we're doing now also is we're trying to branch out. Science fiction is sort of my home genre. I write mostly science fiction and horror, but a lot of authors who are interested in the Dryden Experiment are not science fiction authors, and so we are starting now with other genres in Dryden. We have started Dryden Steam, which is an entirely steampunk genre. Today or tomorrow, I'm going to do the initial video for Dryden APOC, which is our post-apocalypse environment. I believe that one of the books that is coming out is actually going to be in that environment. One of the books in 2015, I think we already have a book selected that will be the first book for Dryden APOC, but I'm not sure of that. And then we're going to bring others online as well. We want to do a horror environment and a fantasy environment, et cetera, et cetera. So we're really growing. We're really fantastic. It's an exciting concept. It's wonderful because everybody gets to own and publish their own thing. You don't have to sell to a corporation. I actually now run a small publishing house called Dryden House that is a service organization for folks who are publishing in Dryden. But you don't have to work with us. You're free to work with whoever. It's absolutely fantastic. And I want to invite you to join the rebellion. Get yourself where you want to be by working cooperatively with other creatives rather than trying to sell yourself to a major corporation or get an agent or a contract or whatever. We can do it together. We don't need those folks outside to help us. So to get oriented, this is Dryden Home, which is the YouTube presence. You should be able to find videos here on pretty much everything that's happening in the universe. We run a blog at drydenexperiment.wordpress, which I'll put the link to below. And I really, really encourage you, if you're interested in who we are and you really want to get to know folks, stop by the Dryden author and artist page and just start commenting and messaging folks. Most of the people who join the organization actually join through that page. That's a Facebook page. I'll put the link below. And we also do weekly hangouts. So watch here on YouTube or watch on the Facebook page for a post. We do a Google Hangout every week. This week it will be on Friday, which is, I believe, the June 22nd. I'm not sure what day it actually is, which is typical of me. And we're hosting it at 9:30 at night Central Time because we want to get our folks in Australia involved. We've got 2 folks who are going to participate from Australia on Friday night, so that's really awesome. So that's what we are. That's what we do. We kick ass. I mean, if you go out there on the author and artist page, you're going to see some fabulous art, literally from around the world. Gavin Revitt over in Sheffield, England, does wonderful things for us. Dan Hunt, who I mentioned earlier, is living in some country whose last name ends in Stan right now. He's a security expert. And, of course, we got folks in Australia. We are a worldwide operation, and we're changing the way publishing happens. And I hope that you will join us in our rebellion. We have a lot of fun. All right, I'm Joel. This is Boom Comics. Thanks for joining us.